welcome to the super fun, awesome, happy time. I've got a green guitar made out of seafoam. No, it's just a seafoam green guitar. Pedal show. My name is Gabor.
Hey, welcome along. I'm Alex. Going to check out this parts guitar that's we've put together today. Please hit like and subscribe on the channel. Give us a thumbs up, ding the bell, all that good stuff.
Please do, please do. And you've already seen a totally awesome, sick track that one of us played.
Probably, yeah.
So yes, you've heard it already. But this is a guitar I call the VanderCaster. Now, there's a little story to it, and I shall tell you that story right now.
Gather around, children,
around a fireplace. So I've had this neck floating around at home for ages. This is
It's floating.
Floating. It was just hovering.
Bumping into things.
Yeah.
Furniture.
Constantly.
Yeah.
Now, I had this neck at home. This is a carven neck from the days when Kiesel was carven. Because I used to work for Carven, the Australian Carven importers for a while, or Carven Australia, I guess. And I don't really remember why, but I had a spare neck of one of their Carven bolts. They were called bolts. So it was a Strat style guitar. I have a Carven bolt as well, but anyway, which has a neck. So I don't know why I had this neck. I don't remember, but I had this neck floating around for a while. And I've been wanting to do something with it for ages, but the neck pocket is a little bit different to a standard sort of Fender sort of thing, so you can't just get any body. Anyway, Glyn from Mr. Glyn's Pickups in New Zealand contacted me and said I should send you some pickups. Now, I was trying to think of what guitar I could have put the pickups into, and then I thought, we've been talking about Super Strats for a while.
Yeah.
And I thought, why don't I make a Super Strat? So I got my friend Dave from Vander Guitars. Hi, Dave. He made me this body out of alder with a neck pocket that fits this neck. He also painted the headstock matching color. So it's an alder body Vander Guitars neck body that he made. He painted it and did all that stuff for me as well. I put those Mr. Glyn pickups in it, and then we thought, what kind of a bridge should we put in it? Because it's a Super Strat kind of vibe. I wanted Floyd Rose, but you can't really. Retrofitting and locking stuff is a bit of a pain. So actually, Dave suggested check out Vega-Trem. Now, not long before, or just shortly before we talked about all this, I watched the Dweezil Zappa. I think it's on a Gibson YouTube channel. I'll link to it here. It's really cool actually to watch. And they go to Mark Agnesi, whatever his name is, goes to Dweezil Zappa's studio.
Yep. And
Dweezil shows all these bizarre instruments, some weird instruments. But I think he had a VegaTrem on a few of them, and he was kind of raving about it because it's an interesting concept because you can pull up and down because it fits into the cavity. You don't have to drill anything. It just retrofits into any standard Strat style cavity, and it kind of works like a Floyd. So I thought, let's do it. And I contacted the good people at VegaTrem, and they sent me this one. So big thank you, VegaTrem. Big thank you, Mr. Glyn. Big thank you, Dave at Vander Guitars, for putting the body together. And then I took all that to my friend Mark at Mark Shipton Instrument Repairs, who put it all together for me beautifully, and also had a lengthy Skype call with Glyn from Mr. Glyn Pickups to work out my stupid wiring. But because that didn't quite work at first, what I wanted to do, but it all works now. So that's the story of the guitar. Should we listen to a couple of clean sounds, and I'll go through the wiring?
Let's do that.
Let's do that. So the pickups are a Mr. Glyn's Cloud 9 in the bridge and his Tui, T-U-I, in the neck. Now, the Cloud 9 is a pickup that is sort of reminiscent of a Damasia Super Distortion, but maybe a little bit more clarity in it. That's sort of his take on it. So it's quite a high output. He kind of recommended that for the sort of Super Strat vibe. The Tui is his highest output Strat style neck pickup to kind of match the two. So wiring wise, all the way this way, it's the bridge pickup, which sounds suchly. Once I turn the volume up, it sounds suchly. Oh, setup.
Yes, we have one of those. It's a Mostronics amp switcher, OTS MIDI 20 head from Cherry Tone, and 2 notes torpedo cap to X.
Yeah, and it's sort of a Fender Dumble style kind of clean. Yes, so that's a clean sound. Very punchy in your face humbucker. Setting 2 is the humbucker split, but split into running in parallel. So instead of the two coils running in series, the coils run in parallel. So it's not a single coil, it's still both, but run in parallel, which sounds like this. Which is not quite like a single coil sound, which is the next one. So that's just a coil, right? So it's a bit thinner. It's two different sounds. The next one is full humbucker and neck pickup. And lastly, neck pickup. Now, let's hear those with Alex playing with some drive. So I've got, just to color match it, I've got the LPD Pedals 87 Deluxe. You can watch a video for that over here, which is a lovely pedal. And again, going with that sort of kind of super strat vibe.
Yeah.
So this is now, again, the same. So let's start off maybe on the lower gain and then go to the higher gain. But now, if you go to the second position, the parallel, with especially with a lower gain, it has a really nice note definition. Sounding pickups.
Crunchy.
Now, one more thing before we go to another clip. The Vega-Trem.
Yes.
Have you, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's really nice. It'll probably chill with age, but the little grub screws are a bit sharp on the back of your hand, but the floating thing's really nice though. That's what it feels like. Yeah.
So it's
cool.
basically, I mean, the
It's
Vega-Trem,
nice.
so it's meant as a thing you can retrofit into any kind of Strat style body.
Yep.
It comes with a whole bunch of different springs as well, depending on what kind of string gauge you use and how heavy you want the trem to feel. It sits on these blades. I think it's a really, really cool thing. It's really well made, really well designed kind of bridge.
Engineered well. Yeah, it does sit on a very kind of knife edge on the back of this like mounting plate.
Yeah. So you basically
you can
you
go
put
up
the
and
put the
down.
mounting plates where either the two, if you have a 2-post Strat, it will go, you screw it into where the 2 posts were, or if you have one of the six screw, like the vintage style, you screw that into the screw holes that are, the 6 screw holes. And then this back part is actually, I'll take some close-up photos, is actually what the trem is. So this part is not, that's the front part where it says Vega-Trem, is actually the thing it sits against. That's the mounting thing. Yeah, it does, to me, it was quite easy to set up. It is quite Floyd Rosy.
Yeah.
I really like it. I think it's a great trem.
Good stuff.
Yeah. So let's quickly have a look at another clip. And another amazing clip. I was just blown away by the performance.
By you or me.
By you or me, and whatever it may be. But we're using elevated jam track backing tracks as well. So Tom, best backing tracks on the interwebs.
Thanks
now, thoughts and conclusions. So I mean, let's start with you. I mostly play it. This is sort of more my thing.
Yep.
So with you just playing it briefly, what are your thoughts overall? I mean, mainly, I guess, looking at pickups and a trem and just the looks of it, I guess. Yeah, because the neck is a carven neck. If you know. So
is it roasted maple, that neck?
No, just plain maple.
Is it just a bit old?
Yeah, it's just old. Yeah, I've had it.
Because it's kind of got that honey colour.
I've had it since early 2000s at least.
Okay.
I think they brought out a new headstock shape, which was this, and maybe they sent us a neck to show people, because because with carving, a lot of it in the days was about you spec your guitars yourself.
Yep.
So I think there may have been a couple of necks, because they had that sort of more pointier neck, which I have on my other guitar, and I think that was just a new headstock, not neck, I mean headstock.
Yep.
Shape. So maybe that's why I had it. But yeah, so it's early 2000s. It's probably a good, I don't know, maybe 15, 18 years old, the neck. But the necks are great. They make really nice necks. It's a fast neck, plays really, really well.
Very flat board.
Very flat, yeah. I think they're 12 inch.
Oh yeah, that's a carving thing too.
Very carving thing, yeah.
You know, all the build quality is super good on all the parts. I guess it just comes out of personal taste on flavours. Like, what do you guys think about pickup tones? Just let us know.
Yeah.
There's lots of clarity. They're quite bright to my ear, like on the brighter end of things.
Yeah.
So if you like that, that's good.
Super Strat. It goes with that sort of 80s Super Strat thing, which is kind of more in your face kind of thing.
Sure.
So, I mean, this is, like I said, this is kind of probably more my thing, this guitar, than Alex's. I'm really quite impressed with this pickup.
I like the humbucker.
I really got to say, whenever, we've used it in a bunch of videos now. Yeah. There's a random video that I used it in here. And whenever I edit the videos, I'm always impressed with the sound, especially if it's a fuzz or distortion. I really like... It's a good sound.
I'd like to hear that humbucker in the neck version. I think that would be cool. So
we can talk to Glyn about that.
Yeah.
I've never really gotten along with Strat pickups of any sort, but I
like that.
I like it. I don't mind it.
Sure.
The switching is cool, which is was just a pain in the butt, but that's it just to showcase what the pickups can do. Now the trem, again, I'm not a Strat guy. And I'm not someone who ever gets along. I have an old guitar with a vintage style trem, which I never use. Mm-hmm. I just have the trem arm out, and the screws, the springs in as much as it goes. It's a hardtail basically.
Sure. Because
I never liked it.
Yep.
And generally I'm not a Strat bridge kind of guy. This I do really like. It's it's a super soft feel. It is very Floyd Rosey-ish. Yep. I really wanted to get one of my ideas with this guitar originally was to kind of do along the lines of a Prince kind of tribute Strat.
Yep.
He had this blue Strat with EMGs, but humbucker and single coil. And I wanted something similar with the Floyd Rose, but couldn't do the Floyd Rose thing on this because I had this neck and I wanted to use this neck. But I think this is as close as you can get on a Strat without modifying anything to a Floyd Rose kind of vibe. And yeah, I'll show close-up photos of everything because yeah, it's tiny. I've showed a guy at the local music shop where I teach the other day because he's thinking about putting one of these into one of his guitars.
Sure.
And he didn't realize that the actual vibrato ends here.
Yep.
So it's that post here is attached to the guitar, and it's tiny. So it's so tiny so it fits into the cavity. It's a really well feeling. It works great. It stays in tune really, really well. So I mean, pull up, go down, stays in tune really, really well. Just silly stuff. It stays in tune really, really well. I do have, is it Godo? Locking tuners on it that I bought that are really quite nice, actually. They feel really nice too. But all up, I like this guitar. I wanted the surf green. I linked to the video up here. This is sort of more of a for me, kind of guitar that I built that I wanted. That video up there was a guitar. I did a video ages ago with Guillaume, actually, from Two Notes, and at 42 Gear Street. And Henning handed me a guitar and told me and Guillaume to sit. It was the day before it actually started, 42 Gear Street.
Right.
He said, sit down and do a video, and we had no idea what to do a video about. But the guitar he handed me was an Ibanez AZ or AZ in that sort of surf green, and this is sort of my tribute to that guitar.
Yeah, cool.
With the kind of funny switching as well. So Super Strat, I like it. It's very not me, because I'm more the offset guy, but I really quite like it. And I can't recommend it highly enough to put a parts guitar together. I think it's a really fun thing to do. If you haven't tried it, I've done it a few times now, and it's a really fun thing to do.
It's another thing is the whole idea of kind of customizing your own guitar, but affordably, without having to go to custom shop levels of expense.
Yeah.
And there's so many resources online now of things like pickups, hardware, blah 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 blah, wiring.
There are people that just all they do is build bodies, Warmouth and there's a few other brands. But I can't recommend it more, because you can build something that you really want instead of buying a guitar that's sort of where you go, I like it, but I wish it was this, and then maybe customizing it yourself and doing other things. Just build it yourself to begin with. Just want to say a very, very big thank you to the awesome people at Vega-Trem. I'll do maybe a more in-depth video of the Vega-Trem coming up at some stage. Big thank you to Glyn at Mr. Glyn Pickups for sending his pickups out. Big thank you to Dave at Vander Guitars for doing an absolutely awesome body job, making the body really awesome. To my specs, and big thank you to Mark at Shipton Instrument Guitar Repair, whatever it's called, for putting it together really, really well. But yeah, it's a cool guitar. You've seen it in lots of videos. Let me know what your thoughts are. Have you used a Vega-Trem before? Have you used Mr. Glyn pickups before? How do you like the sound? All that sort of stuff. Let us know in the comments below. Always keen to hear.
Good stuff.
On that note,
Thanks for watching. Cheers.